You are amazing. You are deserving. You are a beautiful person. You are the greatest project you will ever work on. Hello and welcome to another episode of Challenge Your Mindset. I'm your host, Noura, and today I have a question for you. Who is your best friend? Is it Jessica from 3rd grade because she's seen you through a lot and knows too much, so I guess you're bound for life now? Or is it Ahmed from summer camp because he's fun to hang around? Or it could be Sean or Kelsey or Emel or Destiny because they've helped you through something tough. Who was going through it though? Was it them? Were they the ones that were going through something tough? Or was it you? Who got through your worst moments? Who got through the hardest events in your life? Who got through the darkest nights? It was you. It was always you. They were there. They were there on the sidelines. They might have been there supporting you, but you got yourself through the best and worst moments of your life. Your mom, your dad, your friend may have been there, but they weren't experiencing the event or the moment the way you did, the way it was going on internally. They will never know how it felt. You are the one person who is always with yourself. You are the one person who will have your back your whole life. You, surprise, surprise, are the one person you're stuck with for the rest of your life. We're stuck with ourselves for a long time. Sometimes you find that you're stuck with your mind for a long time. So I want you to ask yourself, do your thoughts build you up or break you down? When you make a mistake, is your first thought, well, that was expected, or I'm not even surprised, or, ugh, you suck? Every single time we try to do something good, you end up making it so miserable. Or is your response, well, this is a learning opportunity. You'll do better next time. You tried your best. Great job doing that. Which one is it? Which side of the spectrum are you on? You might have moments on one side versus the other. But what is your relationship with yourself? Your relationship with yourself is defined by your internal dialogue. Is it filled with love and compassion or hate and malice? I want to tell you this idea that you've probably heard a lot your whole life. Nobody's perfect. So I want you to actually internalize the idea that nobody's perfect, because we tend to put people on pedestals, but they're not perfect. Their LinkedIn is a list of accomplishments, not failures. Nobody puts their failures up on LinkedIn. People only put, I started working at this so-and-so establishment. I started working at this company. I'm going to this institution to continue my studies on X, Y, and Z. I'm in this so-and-so program. People don't put, I've applied to 200 jobs and only got a single interview and didn't even make it past the first round. People's Instagrams aren't 100% real. It's their highlights. It's their life highlights. They may have gotten into a fight with their sister so she could take the perfect picture of them with that fake smile. And then they put a caption like, living life in the Big Apple, sitting next to a sign that says, welcome to Manhattan, and taking a couple pictures next to a few ambiguous buildings, but they're in Manhattan, Illinois, not Manhattan in the Big Apple in New York. Stop comparing yourself to other people. While you're busy trying to be like someone else, remember, there may be someone out there looking at what you perceive as your weakness and them just looking at it as your strengths. Nobody has a perfect life. Life is about struggle. It's about perseverance. It's about learning and growing. You'll never be perfect on your first try of anything. Yes, there's talents, and there may sometimes be a genetic factor to some of it, but you too can become a skier or a pianist or a photographer. Be kind to yourself as you're going through this journey of life. I'll guarantee that you will make mistakes. You have accomplished so much already, but you don't see it because the top of one mountain is the bottom of another. You finish middle school, congratulations, now go on to high school. You get through high school, yip-de-doo, go to college. You go through college, and now it's, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Where are you going to be working? What's your career? The top of one mountain is the bottom of another. Every time you make an accomplishment, you always tend to look at the next thing. I always tend to look at what am I going to do next. Remember to celebrate when you're on the top of that mountain. It took time to get there and you did it. Look at all the mountains you've climbed throughout your life. Don't focus on the future mountains you have to hike through. Enjoy the moment. Mountains are huge. They're huge and it takes so much time to get through them. Enjoy the view from where you are now. Focus on your next step. And before you know it, you would have climbed another mountain. But don't look at the top of the next mountain. Just focus on your next step. The first time a baby tries to walk, right? And somebody's around and they realize that little Timmy is about to put his foot on the ground and finally take his first step. They shush everybody else and they just point to baby Timmy in anticipation. Then baby Timmy falls and face plants into the floor. And the parents are quick to make a distraction and cheer for baby Timmy because they're so happy that baby Timmy was able to take a few steps on his own. It's so exciting. It's so exciting in that moment. They didn't scold baby Timmy for face planting because it's going to happen. They knew that baby Timmy was planning on taking that first step. He took a few steps and then he face planted. Right now, he might be an excellent toddler, but eventually baby Timmy will become an expert walker, and in just a little bit of time, he'll be an excellent runner, and people are going to celebrate these milestones, not because they're chasing Timmy, but because they're excited for him. They're excited that he was able to get on his own 2 feet and walk. They were excited when he took his first step. Like baby Timmy, allow yourself to face plant. It's okay. It's part of the process, but never give up. Allow yourself to grow. If you think about nature, a tree always reaches for the sky. It never stops growing. It doesn't say, I don't think I'll make another ring for this year. I'm good with the number of rings I have now, Jimbo. It grows. It grows and grows as long as it's in the right environment. Unlike a tree, you can choose the environment that you're in. And sometimes we tell ourselves, but I don't have the motivation. I don't have the motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Motivation is an excuse. If that is your only way of moving forward, motivation has now become your dream killer. Intrinsic goals is what you need, not motivation. You need to find the reason why you're doing what you're doing. To become your own best friend, you need to find the reason why you're doing what you're doing, right? So, number 1, understand who you are, where you were and where you are, and where you want to go. So, who are you, right? That is such a difficult question to answer because a lot of us, including myself, might not know who we are. We know where we were. We know where we currently are in life. But even where you want to go, that could also be a difficult question. So ask yourself and try to understand, who am I? Where was I? Where am I now? And where do I want to go? People love people with ambitions and goals, but they love people more when they see their accomplishments. Try to think of anybody that you know, right? That you admire. Think of that person that, you're always looking up to. That person that you're looking up to. You love them because they follow their dreams. Right? They followed their dream to become a doctor, to become an engineer, to become a stand-up comedian, to become an actor, to become a baker. They followed their dreams and they accomplished it, right? So who are you? Define yourself, right? Don't put yourself in a box, but try to figure out who you are, where you were, that's an easy one, where you are and where you want to go. Right? And I want you to be like, yes, you go, queen, every time you do something cool or learn something new. Be your own biggest cheerleader. Number 2, respect yourself. Learn your boundaries. Boundaries are good. We're not taught how to create them, but we learn as we grow how to place them. For example, I don't answer work emails outside of work hours. Work hours are meant for you to work, and emails are considered a part of work. They're work communications, and therefore I have created a boundary of I will not be checking my email outside of work hours. Learn your boundaries. What will you accept? What will you not accept from others, right? Number 3, be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to a child learning to walk. Act like you're talking to little Timmy every time you're talking to yourself. Be your own cheerleader and be kind to yourself. Number 4, growth doesn't come easy. Remember that when you were getting taller, you felt growing pains in your legs and discomfort from that growth. But look at how you turned out. Absolutely gorgeous. But that growth, remember, there's always going to be growing pains. It doesn't come easy, but you can do it. Number 5, surround yourself with people who support you. People who give you advice for you, not for them if they were in your shoes, because that's different. If they were giving advice to you, it would be based on who you are as a person versus who they are as a person, right? Surround yourself with people who support you and what you want to do with your life. Number 6, clean your environment up. A clean room clears your mind. The removal of physical distractions can help you in creating a clear mind for you to be able to focus and think clearly. And I know I said clear like 6 times in the past sentence, but it really does help to have a clean room or a clean environment. If you're working on a table, make sure the table is clean. If you're working in a room that's cluttered, it could often act like a distraction to you. So try to keep your environment clean. And lastly, remember that practice makes progress. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect is a subjective term. You'll never be perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? So what's perfect to me might not be perfect to you. Remember that practice makes progress, and be kind to yourself. Appreciate the little things you do. Be amazed with your accomplishments. You are the best project you will ever work on. For this week's challenge, it's going to be a little different. This week's challenge is something that I want you to start doing consistently this week, but keep going for a month. So you can choose one small thing that you'll do for yourself for the month consistently, but you should start today. It could be something as simple as every time you wake up in the morning, you whisper to yourself, "I'm awesome." And before going to sleep, you whisper to yourself, "I'm awesome." And that could be your thing for the next month, right? Or it could be for the next month, you take a pack of Post-its, and every day you write one good thing about yourself and you stick it to the wall. So you have a designated wall for every single day of the month. You could write something, but allow it to focus on who you are. Something about you, right? So for example, today I was kind because I helped an old woman carry her groceries to her car. That could be something that you write on the Post-it and you stick it on your wall. And you do that for 30 days, right? And you'll soon realize how amazing you are. You could do 20 sit-ups every day. Once you wake up and once before you go to sleep. 20 sit-ups in the morning, 20 sit-ups in the evening. And you take a picture on day 1 and compare it to day 30 and see the difference that it makes. The difference in keeping up with yourself and being consistent in the things that you do and actually accomplishing the things that you were set out to do. So for the next month, you'd give yourself one thing to do. One thing. Every day you do it. Just like brushing your teeth in the morning, you find something else to do. And actually, sometimes it makes it easier for you to attach it to something that you're already used to doing. So if you want to write one good thing about yourself on a Post-it every day, you could brush your teeth at night, and then before you hop into bed, you write down whatever you wanted to write down for that day. Not only will you start to see a difference in yourself, you will start to feel a difference, and you'll be so incredibly proud of yourself that you would want to continue because you are amazing. You are deserving. You are a beautiful person. You are the greatest project you will ever work on. You are loved and you deserve to be loved. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Pick yourself up when you're feeling down. Oprah says, stop comparing yourself to other people. You are only on this planet to be you, not someone else's imitation of you. Become your own best friend, not your worst enemy. This is all I have for you for this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Challenge Your Mindset. Follow this podcast wherever you may cast your pods by hitting that plus button. You could also follow us on Instagram at Nura_unplugged. That's Nura, Nora_unplugged. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a fabulous day and an even better week, and I will see you next week.